Well, let's welcome to our first summer enrichment activity. You are going to be accessing everything through Google Classroom. If you remember from the Chromebook video that you did in order to access your Chromebook, you can just type in Google Classroom when you open up Chrome. Or if you'd like to, once you have Google Classroom on the tab, you can actually, in the address bar, click this and that bookmarks the page and then it puts it here for quicker access. You're going to click on your page. 2023 is for our 7th graders, 2024 is for our 6th graders. When you click in, you have our first activity. Enrichment Activity 1, I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Step 1, read the article by using Newsela. You can adjust the reading level as needed. Use audio supports if needed. Step 2, so after the article is when you come and do the quizzes, and you need to enter that code right there if you are in 7th grade. If you are in 6th grade, you will have your own code that's separate based on articles. I did 2 different articles at different reading levels. So I'm going to show you this first one. So if you were 7th graders, this is what you would do. If you're a 6th grader, you're going to have an article just the same, just a little different. So when you log into Newsela, it's going to take you to the article, but you need to sign in. So when you click sign in, it's very important that you click sign in and then sign in with my Google user. Now I'm going to stop the video at this moment to keep private the username, but that's what you want to do. All right, so once you're in, you're going to get back to the article that you've been assigned. You can choose right here your different reading levels. This is the max that the article is produced at, but you can go to a lower reading level. It varies, so pick which reading level feels just right for you. There's also a Spanish option as well, right here. As you're reading through the article, okay, you'll be signed in and be reading through it, and then we'll also let you take a quiz and do the activities afterwards. But if you're struggling at all with reading or accessing the article, you can actually use this app right here. It looks like a puzzle piece, and you would hit play, and it would actually highlight and read along with you. Or you can click this button and it lets you kind of hover. So when I put my mouse over a certain area, it'll start reading at that point. So not necessarily everybody needs ReadWrite App, but it can be very helpful, especially if you're somewhere where it's hard to focus, or maybe you don't understand a word and you wanted to hear it to make sure that you think it's the word that you're maybe making the best guess at. So I'm going to close that app. So that's one of the main apps that are available for you, and that's the one I'm going to talk about today. And then Newsela. Something else really cool about Newsela, when you get done with this and you go back into Google Classroom and you do your quizzes, okay, so you're going to take your quizzes, but when you get to quizzes, you need to enter this code. So I would even just like highlight over this and copy the code and then get into quizzes and then you paste your code in. So once I put my code in, you need to make sure you pick an appropriate name. It's very important that you use like your first initial last name for quizzes, so that way we can keep data to see who has finished what. So once you're finished with the quizzes, that's great. You'll feel really good about yourself. Hopefully you do really well on it. You're not necessarily graded on it. It's more that did you complete it? Are you understanding the text? Then the next step is to go to Flipgrid, and the password is Wilson1275. So when you get in, everybody's password is the same. So no kind of secret there. And then when you get in, you can decide to save it or not save it. And you're going to hit the plus button and you're going to create a 1-minute video. So you're going to use actually the webcam that's built into the Chromebook of a book that you have read from Wyandotte Reads, one of the books that you got. Or you're going to make a 1-minute review of a book that you're currently reading. Remember, you have to have appropriate language, as your audience is going to be myself and Mr. Trudell and other administrators in the district. You want to create your video in a quiet space. Make sure to notice your background. Is it too dark? What's the lighting like? What's behind you even? Are you looking into the camera? Don't be chewing gum. Those are some things to really watch for. Loud noise, things like that. It definitely makes a difference when you're making a video. Before any videos get posted, I get to see them all and review them, and then I get to keep people's videos private as well. So this is just more for us educators to take a look at and see what you're reading and what kind of books you recommend for other people to read. So it should be fun. This is extra. This will just get you an extra raffle ticket. It is not required at all. Nobody has to do this part. So this is just an extra feature. Step 3 is. Also, in the About section, we're going to throw in a lot more help this year. We're going to put some really neat things, supports that you might need, whatnot, in the About section of Google Classroom. So right now you have the link to the technology services. But in Newsela, we are also going to be showing you something really cool about text sets. So this summer, there is a summer reading club. So when I go into Newsela and I hit text sets, and then I scroll down to summer reading club, this has a ton of text based on what you're interested in. So you can pick which text set and join one of these summer reading clubs. So if you're really interested in art, comic books, maybe you're really interested in movies, okay, you can actually go through and do one of the text set. Let's say I'm really interested in art. I would read these 10 art articles, which is pretty cool. This one is actually from Detroit. So they're news articles. And then you would enter in and a bonus to show off your learning. Pretty cool. So this is something pretty interesting, and it tells you exactly how to join and gives you the directions here. So just something else to continue the reading.